June 22, 1941, 3:07 a.m. Moscow. The phone rang in the darkness. Joseph Stalin didn't move. He lay in his bed at Kuntsevo Dacha, 17 kilometers outside Moscow, staring at the ceiling. The ringing continued. His bodyguard knocked softly, then more insistently. Stalin knew what the call was. He'd known for weeks, really. But knowing and accepting are different things entirely. When he finally picked up the receiver, General Georgy Zhukov's voice was tight, controlled, barely containing panic. "Comrade Stalin, the Germans are bombing our cities." Stalin said nothing. The silence stretched across the phone line like a chasm opening in the earth. Outside his window, Moscow slept. Inside his chest, something was collapsing. 3 million German soldiers were pouring across the Soviet border at that exact moment. 4,000 tanks, 5,000 aircraft. The largest invasion force in human history, arranged along an 1,800-mile front from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. And Stalin, the man who controlled the fate of 190 million people, the dictator who'd purged 30,000 officers from his own military, the leader who'd signed a non-aggression pact with Hitler just 2 years earlier. Stalin had convinced himself it wasn't happening. He'd been wrong about many things in his life, but never anything this catastrophic. "Comrade Stalin," Zhukov's voice again. "Are you there?" Stalin hung up the phone. The story of how Stalin missed the largest military invasion in history begins not in June 1941, but in August 1939. That's when he made the decision that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The decision that, in his mind, had made war with Germany impossible. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Stalin had personally negotiated the deal through his foreign minister, Vyacheslav Molotov. The logic was elegant, almost beautiful. Divide Poland with Germany, secure the Baltic states, give the Soviet Union time to build up its military while Germany fought France and Britain. Let the capitalist powers destroy each other. Then, when they were exhausted, the Soviet Union would emerge as the dominant force in Europe. It was the kind of strategic masterstroke Stalin prided himself on. Cold calculating, ruthless. The pact came with a secret protocol. Never published, never acknowledged, but meticulously negotiated. Eastern Poland for the Soviets. Western Poland for the Germans. Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, all within the Soviet sphere. Romania's Bessarabia taken without a fight. In one stroke, Stalin had redrawn the map of Eastern Europe and bought the Soviet Union what he believed was peace. He'd toasted with Ribbentrop in Moscow, raised his glass to Hitler's health, called the Führer a man who knows what he wants. That was 22 months ago. Now the phone was ringing again. Stalin's intelligence services were among the best in the world. The NKVD, the GRU, networks of spies embedded deep in German military intelligence, ideologically committed communists throughout Europe, reporting every whisper, every rumor, every troop movement. The information flowed into Moscow in a constant stream. And the information, for months now, had been screaming the same thing. Warning number 1, March 20th, 1941. Richard Sorge, Soviet master spy in Tokyo, sent a telegram. German attack on USSR planned for mid-June. 9 armies, 150 divisions. Stalin wrote in the margin. English provocation. Find out who is making this up and punish them. Warning number 2, April 9th, 1941. Soviet border guards reported massive German troop buildups across the frontier. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Tank concentrations, artillery parks, supply depots. Stalin's response, defensive preparations. Germany is securing its eastern flank before invading Britain. Warning number 3, May 5th, 1941. Stalin gave a speech to military graduates in the Kremlin. He raised his glass and said, "The era of peace is over. The era of war has begun." His generals looked at each other, confused. Was this acknowledgement? Preparation? 3 days later, Stalin appointed himself chairman of the Council of People's Commissars. He was now both general secretary of the party and head of government. Total control, total responsibility. Warning number 4, May 15th, 1941. Berlin Embassy reported German dependents being evacuated. German ships leaving Soviet ports. Trade slowing to a trickle. Stalin ordered increased grain and oil shipments to Germany. Raw materials flowing westward on Soviet trains, even as German troops massed on the border. He would show Hitler that the Soviet Union was a reliable partner. He would prove the intelligence wrong. Warning number 5, June 11, 1941. NKVD agent in Berlin sent coded message. War is inevitable. Attack imminent. Most likely June 22nd. Stalin had the agent recalled, suspected him of being a double agent,